Hello children, we were studying organization in living things and in the previous turn I discussed about animal tissues. Today we will study about human organ systems and their functions. So children, human organ systems, there are 9 different organ systems present in our body. We will only study about their main functions. First is skeletal system. Skeletal system comprises of bones, joints and teeth. Its main functions are it gives shape, size and support to the body. It is because of our skeletal framework that we get a definite shape and we are able to move our hands and legs. It protects internal delicate organs and helps us to stand erect and move. Then muscular system. Muscular system helps in movement of different body parts. Basically, skeletal system and muscular system together are responsible for our body movements. Now, there are different types of muscles we have already studied and they have their own functions. We studied about skeletal, smooth and cardiac muscles. You all know their individual functions. So, overall we can say that different types of muscles they aid in digestion, respiration and blood circulation. So, when I say blood circulation, that means first of all, cardiac muscles they are responsible for the pump, our beating of the heart. Then the skeletal muscles they help in movement. So individually, you all know, you are aware of all the different types of muscles and their functions, and the involuntary muscles. For example, the contraction and relaxation of our food pipe. Now, third system is digestive system. As the word suggests, digestive system means the system that is responsible for converting the complex food material that we eat into simple soluble form that gets absorbed by our body and ultimately energy is released. So what is the main function? Digestion of complex food into simple soluble substances, and once it gets converted into its simple soluble form, its absorption in the small intestine. Fourth system is respiratory system. You all know what is respiration. Respiration is oxidation of food to release energy. So, and before respiration, what happens is breathing. First of all, we breathe in oxygen, and then that oxygen it moves inside our respiratory system and it oxidizes the food. So, respiratory system is responsible for breathing as well as for respiration. And what all organs comprise, they come together to form the system. Nose, then windpipe, lungs, they are all associated with respiratory system. Fifth system is circulatory system. The prime function is transportation of material to different parts of the body. Now, circulatory system, basically what it does is that the food and minerals, then oxygen, water, all these things they need to be transported, right? So this transportation process is carried out by our circulatory system. For example, the oxygen is transported from the lungs, carbon dioxide to the lungs, and digested food to different parts of the body. So much of movement goes on inside the body. Transportation is required, so that is done by the circulatory system. Excretory system. Now, excretory system means the system that is responsible for removal of waste from the body. So when so many metabolic activities happen inside our body, then some waste gets accumulated. Now that waste should be removed from the body from time to time, and this removal of harmful waste from the body is done by our excretory system. Nervous system. Now, nerves, they receive messages and send it back to the brain. Then, so we can say that our nerves, brain and spinal cord, Okay, they all are together responsible for all our voluntary and involuntary responses. For example, if we touch a hot pan, then immediately we remove our finger. So this is one impulse, and this is our response to the stimuli. You've already studied this example in class 6. So here this coordinated activity of our body means feeling of hotness and then making a decision of removing the hand and then immediately doing that. All these things, the entire control and coordination, this is done because of nervous system. The eighth system is endocrine system or endocrine system. Okay, now this system is made up of glands. And glands, what they do, they produce hormones. Now the question is that what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers. Okay, they are chemicals that are released in very limited quantity and they control many body functions. So hormones, they influence different body activities like growth and maturity. So we grow, then our height increases, several characteristics develop with age. All those things happen because of hormones, and all the hormones are released through glands. Okay, so all the glands, they together constitute endocrine system. The last system that we have to study is reproductive system. Now reproductive system, it produces reproductive cells and it helps in producing young ones. So with this we have studied the main functions of all the organ systems in human body. Now this was about human body. If we talk about plants, plants have two systems, only two organ systems, root system and shoot system. Now you all know about this right from the primary section you're studying. You already know that roots, its branches and root hair, they all constitute root system, and the stems, branches, leaves, buds, flowers, fruits, they all constitute the shoot system. So in case of plants, they only have two organ systems. Humans, we have in total 9 different organ systems. Now we studied when the chapter began that cells, they come together to constitute tissues. Then many tissues, they come together to form organ, and different organ systems give rise to one organism. So I told you that this is lower level of organization. Now beyond organism, whatever comes, that falls under higher levels of organization. If you see this diagram here, you will see that there is a clear demarcation after organism. So after organism comes population, means many organisms, when they come together, they form one population. Then population gives rise to community, then many communities coming together, they form ecosystem, and finally we get biosphere. So these 4 things that we are seeing now, that are falling above organism, they constitute the higher level of organization. All right, so here it is written, from cell to organism, it is the lower level of organization, and from organism to biosphere, it is higher level of organization. Now when we say organism, now every organism have some unique characteristics, right? And we classify organisms on the basis of their characteristics. So there is this term species, and you are already aware of this term because you all know that while naming living organisms, we use binomial nomenclature, and then you have studied this term species. So what are species? Now similar kinds of individuals having common characteristics, and the most important and unique feature of species is that they can interbreed amongst themselves in nature. So what are species? Similar kinds of individuals having common characteristics which can breed amongst themselves, they form a species. Like human beings, we all are species, and our scientific name, our binomial nomenclature is Homo sapiens, right? Similarly, tigers and lion and rabbits, deer, every living organism, they belong to various species. Okay, then population. Now all members of a particular species, they together constitute population. So if we consider one area, and we try to find out that how many members of a particular species are living in that area. So that is population. Okay, so all members of a particular species living in a particular area constitute population. One very nice example is given in your book, that is all lions living in Gir forest constitute a population. So it's a population of lion. Now similarly, number of people living in a particular city, that will constitute the population of that particular city. Now next is community. Several groups of populations or organisms in an area constitute a community. So when many populations are coming together of different types of plants and animals together, if we consider them in a particular area, then they constitute a community. So in a particular area we will find several populations of different plants and animals. Next term of a higher level is ecosystem. The different communities which interact amongst themselves, and they also interact with their physical environment. So various communities of living organisms that not only interact among themselves but also with their physical environment, they together constitute one ecosystem. For example, we say that there is a aquatic ecosystem or a forest ecosystem. So if we say forest ecosystem, that means all the plants and animals living together in a particular forest and their interaction amongst themselves plus their interaction with the physical environment with all the abiotic factors. So that means together they are constituting a forest ecosystem. And the last term is biosphere. So all the ecosystems together existing on our earth, they constitute what? Biosphere. So all the living organisms on the earth along with the physical factors, they together constitute biosphere. So this is the highest level of organization, that is biosphere. So with this children, we have finished our lesson number 2, and in the next video I will be discussing the exercises, and I will also tell you that what all questions you have to do in your notebook. Kindly do the needful and please study till taught. Thank you children.